Hello, friends in the silent majority. We're back with the Normal Procedure Podcast. You know me, I'm Chris Wells. Do the things, do all of the things. We're back here within tragic times. I'm not going to talk about all of the things that's going on in the news. I talked about that. I talked about those things on a previous podcast. Just general news stories, general tragedies, general everyday tragedies. And, we're dealing with a national tragedy right now, along with the other things that we're already dealing with. The Ukraine situation, the inflation situation, the baby formula situation, mass shootings, gas prices, food shortages, everything that worries you in your day-to-day life. We're currently dealing with those things. I'm not going to talk about that right now. You already get all of the media talking about that. It's an oversaturation of the market in that way. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do what I usually do, which is bury my head in the sand and talk about some fucking nonsense. And it might be considered nonsense, but you might actually find some entertainment value in this program, in this podcast, and hopefully you do. And that's why you do the things. That's why you do all of the things. If you find entertainment in this, a nice little short break while you're taking a walk, while you're walking your dog, while you're at work, you're on a treadmill, you're in the car, wherever you are listening to this, I appreciate you. And show some love to all of the independent content creators. The good ones. Only the good ones. Leave those other motherfuckers where they are. I'm going to be talking about that a little later. I should put that on a shirt. I'm going to be talking about that a little later. Would you buy that shirt? I'm going to be talking about that a little later. Kind of a lame shirt, though. It's too many words for a shirt. Anybody wear graphic tees anymore anyway? I know I still do. I still wear graphic t-shirts. And according to what men's fashion is suggested to be in my age, I should not be wearing graphic t-shirts, or shouldn't be wearing too many graphic t-shirts. But it's like, fuck, how are you going to know what I support? How are you going to know which catchphrases I find funny? So you're telling me I have to throw out my Rick and Morty t-shirt? Fuck you. No, I would never throw out my Rick and Morty t-shirt. I would never throw out my Naruto t-shirts. I would never throw out my UFC t-shirts. I can wear something like this, a nice button-down shirt, when I want to be presentable. But most days I don't want to be presentable. Most days I don't want to give a fuck about anything. Most days I just want to be comfortable. I think that's something that everyone can relate to in American life, right? When you go about your day-to-day life, you want to be comfortable. Especially if you work in a work environment where you have to be dressed up all the fucking time. It can do one of two things to you. It could make you want to present yourself in that way all of the time, or it can make you be like, hey, as soon as I get the fuck out of here, I'm putting on my jammies. And so, as South Park said, I'm going to be comfy wumpy, or cozy wozy, whichever you prefer. But I never see anyone, I don't know if it's just where I'm from or my current surroundings, I don't ever see anyone dressed to the nine just going about their business, dressed in a three-piece suit at the fucking grocery store picking up some poultry. I don't see that. I see people in their comfy wumfies. Wear your fucking comfy wumfies. But I'm going to be talking about some things to distract you from all of the current events and tragedies. And like I said, if you want content like that, I will cover it on occasion. But most of the time, the market is oversaturated. I'm going to be talking about things that most people don't talk about. And especially within my community, in the black community. Some of these things that we just don't discuss because either they're considered sensitive topics, they're considered taboo topics, or social norms, or the culture. I'm going on that path again. And it's not just black culture. I'm pretty sure all cultures can relate to this in some way or another. But I want to piggyback off of the last podcast that I released, the groupthink mentality. When people want to do things to please the herd, They want to please their team. It's sort of this convoluted, well, it's not even convoluted. It is this, mindset of it breeds division in some way, but you have to support whatever no matter what your personal beliefs are. If the group believes a certain thing and your one voice you feel like might not influence the group, you go along to get along. So I want to piggyback off of the groupthink mentality. And sometimes groupthink can be a good thing. Sometimes groupthink can be a bad thing. Now, I can't think within recent memory when groupthink has been a good thing. I really can't. Now, I can give you some examples as when it used to be a good thing. Like, for example, groupthink was a good thing during civil rights, right? That was a herd mentality. In the black community, everyone thought that we should have rights. We should have inalienable rights that's awarded to us by the United States Constitution. Certain things that was promised to us by that document that weren't being fulfilled by the government, such as the rights to vote, such as the rights to not be segregated, such as the rights to not be oppressed and just generally treated as a cancer to society. That's groupthink at its finest right there. And when you have a nucleus like we had back then and a positive message, that's when groupthink works to the benefit of everyone. But can you really think of anything within the last 10, 15 years where the same groupthink mentality had a positive influence on the culture? I'll wait. What's the last thing that you remember where the team picked something, everyone went along with it, and everyone's happy and society moved on in a positive direction? I will wait. Give me an example of when that happened. Don't know. You don't know. I don't know. Positive, no. I can name several negative ones, and that's what we're going to be talking about. We're going to be talking about one of the negative ones because hopefully this reaches someone's ears and they start to think about the decisions that they made and the life that they live in a different way. That's being optimistic. But more than likely, this is going to be contentious and going to be considered controversial, and it might not even reach the people's ears that I am directing this towards. That's the sad part, that the people that I'm making this for won't even hear it. They won't even make it to this mark. They won't even make it to this. I don't even know how long I've been recording at this point, but they won't even make it to this mark, let alone 10 minutes from now when I really get into the subject. And the subject is wasting time. Now, I'm not talking about general procrastination because everyone suffers from that in one way or another. We all fucking procrastinate. We all want to be doing something that we're not doing. We all have aspirations to do something, whether it's a minuscule aspiration or a grandiose aspiration, or you really logically have a system in your head where you're going to set up baby steps to reach that thing. And you should be doing something to reach that thing, but you just procrastinate because, what did I say? We love to be comfortable. Comfy wumpy, cozy wozy. Cozy wozy, I'll get to it tomorrow. We all procrastinate. Shit, I procrastinate a lot. These podcasts don't come out as often as I would like them to. That's half due to procrastination, half due to responsibilities that are outside of content creation. Trying to get a better handle on that and fixing that as we're going along in this journey together. Because if you didn't know, this podcast used to be called The Average Guy's Guide to Life. I've said that before. That name was a little too long, so now we're called The Normal Procedure. Both iterations of the podcast never released as much as I would like them to because things would come up. And when things come up, it throw you off your fucking flow. There's nothing wrong with that. That's life. Life happens. But you push through if you're passionate about something. But that has nothing to do with the subject, by the way. So, wasting time. What do I mean by that? Of course, I'm talking about in the realm of relations and dating. Now, I'm gearing this towards the black community because that's where I see this most prominent. But I think most people can either relate or they can empathize with this wasting time sort of example that we're diving into today. So, how much time can you waste in your adult life before you feel like you've had enough experience, right? So there are people that are serial daters. They jump from, So serial daters is different from serial monogamists. So there's people that are serial daters that go on dates a lot and never commit to anything. There are serial monogamists that jump from relationship to relationship, and they may last a year, they may last 2 years, but you never commit to anything. There's a lot of failed commitments within our community. There's a lot of people that value the wrong fucking things. There's a lot of people that value the wrong things when dating in our community. They value aesthetics. They value money. They value how you dress. They value what, where you go, how you hang. Are you 420 friendly? Can I be seen in public with you, with these people? Some things are valid, some things are not. But for the most part, we value the wrong shit. And what do I mean by that? Well, I'm not going to speak in broad absolutes. I'm not going to speak that way. I'm going to speak in generalizations. And generally, the women in our community do this all too often. Yes, talking about the women again. They do this all too often. They waste time dealing with fuckboys. And then they get in the cycle of dealing with fuckboys. And what is a fuckboy? Well, I'm here to tell you. The fuckboy is the guy that has the drip, dresses the part, has the shiny shit attached to his necks and his wrists. I don't know why he got more than one neck, but you know what I mean. That's the guy that has the drip, has the nice car. He's known, he's social in certain circles. But he has no intentions of being serious with anybody. But he has a mouthpiece, and he'll let you believe that he's serious about you, baby. I'm serious about you. What are you talking about? You my boo. You my boo. What are you talking about? You know I'm serious about you. You know I take you serious. I'll take you around my friends. We can go hang out. I'll take you to the club. I'll spend money on you, baby. Come on now. What are you talking about? This is us. That's that guy. And he does all of this. He's a magician with his mouth and with his appearance. It's all set up to lead to something. And it's to lead to your pants. He's getting in your pants, and then he's probably getting in other people's pants, and then he's moving on. That's what a fuckboy is. Some people said I had the face of a fuckboy. Me. I mean, I don't know if that's a compliment. I mean, calling me saying I have the face of a fuckboy, I'm not sure if that's a compliment, because on one hand, it's like, well, fuckboys are generally attractive. They can fuck, and they're boys. They just don't commit to anything, and they're serial liars and manipulators and fucking gaslighters. So that's the negative parts of it. But should I be flattered? And someone says I have the face of a fuckboy, but I don't think I do. Quite honestly, I think I'm just all right. I'm okay. I know where I excel and I know where I don't excel. I excel at doing things like this: conversing, conversations, being entertaining, understanding people, holding conversations, empathizing, creative ventures. I'm good at that stuff. I can compensate where my face is lacking symmetry. But anyway, that's the definition of a fuckboy. So women waste time on them within our community because they have this fantasy in which, well, there's two sides of it. There might be a lot of jumbled up mess in the center, but there's generally two sides of it. There's the one side where, of course, you're attracted to this person because that's their game. Their game is to make themselves as attractive as possible, whether they're doing it by legal means or not. That's their game, is to make themselves stand out and attractive as possible to the opposite sex, right? So, on this side, you have the woman, because both sides are attracted to them. Let's just get that out of the way. Both sides of this scenario, they're attracted to the fuckboy because that's his game. That's what he does. So on this side, they see someone that's living a lifestyle that makes them appealing. They have competition. He has, high value as far as other women want him. So they think on this side that they could change him. I'm going to be the one to change him. And they quickly realize that they cannot. He's a fuckboy. He'll forever be a fuckboy. So they're naive. On this side, they don't want to change him. They just want to fuck. They know that this man has status and value and is desired by other women. And they just want to fuck him to have a name or have a body of status that they perceive as status. And they will fuck every fuck boy or fuck, whatever fuck boy they please or whichever one they come across. But both of the sides and everyone jumbled up in the middle, they're wasting time. You're wasting time with these fuck boys. And why do I say that? Well, time in itself, you're getting older. Your biological clock is ticking. Your looks are fading. And if you don't realize that you're wasting time, you're going to end up spending the rest of your life alone. So that's why I say you're wasting time. Now, there's a group of women, there might be a minority or it might be a majority of women that are okay with that. They're content. They're like, I'm wasting time, whatever. At least I have the memories. And I'll just live the rest of my life however I want. I'm a queen. Yes, queen. I'm still the prize in my 50s. And I have all of these memories and all of these stories to tell and all of these videos I can look back on my Instagram and my Facebook where I'm shaking my ass with my friends in the club with these terrible camera angles. They're terrible, by the way. I've seen them. Just hold the fucking camera straight. If you're actually trying to show your friend shake her ass in the club, can you at least hold the camera straight? And don't try to be a fucking director and zoom in and zoom out and do all that shit. No, hold it straight. This is what you're displaying. And don't try to grab her because you're just shaking the fucking camera. You guys are terrible at this. If that's the life you want to live, you're trying to display your friend's ass shaking skills, at least have the courtesy to hold the camera straight. She did all that shaking for nothing. Can nobody even tell? We don't even see it shaking. We see you shaking. Hold it straight, you fuck. But what I'm trying to say is, some women are content with that, and they will live that life and just live on their memories, and they don't want or need anything else. I don't want that for them. I don't want that for anybody. I don't want anybody to fucking live their life alone in their elderly years. That's sad. Or having their children take care of them. That's another thing. That's the other thing about wasting time with fuckboys. 9 times out of 10, I don't have an exact percentage or statistic, but I do know that 80% of black children are born out of wedlock. And, that's likely due to these interactions with fuckboys. Either you're on this side or this side. I could fucking change him, I could fix him, or I was just fucking to have fun. The children are still made out of both scenarios and everything in the middle. So that's another way you're wasting time. And when you do that, that's when, you lower the value that you bring to the table. Even if you continue, if you're on this side, if you're on the right side, and you're just fucking to be fucking and you just want to go to fuckboy, every child you have lowers the standard of fuckboy that you can pull. You're not pulling the same fuckboys at 34 that you were at 24. Especially if you don't work out. Because every child is going to put some poundage on you. So you're out here still wearing the same outfits. And belly all spilling out. Cellulite all spilling out. And you're trying to get the same fuckboys that you got when you were 24. It's not happening. Your value went down. And if you were over here and you thought you could change them on the left side, and you had a couple babies by some fuckboys, 1, 2 babies by a fuckboy, and then you realize, oh, I can't change them. Maybe I should go and try and get a different sort of man. Your value is still going down because you had a baby or a couple babies by 1 or 2 different fuckboys. So now a man like me sees you and like, so what was your baby father like? What did he do? Why were you together? What happened? What happened? So we're just wasting time. And I don't want anyone to waste time. I don't want the fuckboys to waste time either. I want them to grow the fuck up. I've said this numerous times. I hold the men accountable as well. I hold them accountable. They're harder to talk to because they see someone like me and they're seeing a hypocrite. They're seeing somebody that's sold out. Especially knowing where I'm from. They don't want to listen to me. They don't want to listen to lectures from me. I'm all fucking, to me, like, if you would talk to my brothers, they say I'm all fucking puppies, flowers and rainbows. I'm all daisies, puppies, and rainbows, according to my brothers, because I think about things optimistically and I want the best outcomes. How the fuck is that puppies, sunflowers, and rainbows to want the best outcomes for black men and black women, to want people to do well? That's sunshine and rainbows. According to these people. Why? Because they're fucking broke on the inside. They don't know anything positive. They think they fucked up too bad to repair things. Well, that in itself it's beyond pessimistic. And it's kind of hopeless behavior. And that's what you have to try and break. I talked about this in a previous podcast too. A lot of people have this trap mentality and they're still trapped. They still have their spines crushed and they're hopeless. So when someone like me tries to tell them, hey, if you change your outlook, you try harder and you have some self-accountability, some self-awareness, you try to do better and you will get better. Just do better. Think about things differently. Think more optimistically. Try to be happy. Before you say a happiness doesn't exist, try to be happy. Try. Put away all the baggage. Get a garbage bag. Go around the psyche of your fucking brain and go in your heart and your emotions and take everything that's holding you back from obtaining happiness. Put all of that into that bag. No matter how long it takes, stuff all of that shit that's in your heart and in your head. I just did the reverse. It's in your heart and in your head. Stuff all of it in that bag. and take it to the curb. It can take therapy. It can just take, extreme dedication and self-reflection. It takes discipline, but it's possible. To the guys out there, especially, it's possible. A lot of guys have this secret woe is me ass attitude because they were born in a certain place and they were abused and their parents weren't there and dad wasn't there, their mom wasn't there, and they saw people die and this and that. So it's like, I have this eternal woe is me attitude. Fuck that. You breathing? Are you alive? You're alive. Well, then there's a shot. There's a chance. Grab your fucking garbage bag. Start filling that motherfucker. Immediately. You have to do it. That's if you want to progress and be happy. And not this surface level happiness where everyone is blinded by materialism. Blinded by what you wear. Your drip. Your swag. Your car. Your money. That's not happiness. You can't take any of that shit with you. So I hold the fellas accountable as well. But back to the ladies. So you have children by these fuckboys. You're wasting time with these fuckboys. And by the time you meet somebody like me, it's questionable. It's like, I don't know. Some of the decisions you've made, I'm not quite sure. And the problem, I wouldn't say the problem is because, okay, so you have to understand where these thoughts manifest themselves. Why women don't think they're wasting time. Why they don't think that, there's a biological clock or a clock in general. Why they think that they have forever. You have to understand where this manifests itself, because women aren't born thinking that I can just go have hot girl summers and fuck all these fuck boys I want, and I'm still gonna be the shit. I'm still gonna be hot shit. That isn't something that, is a biological feature. It's not attached to your DNA. That's something that you learn. That's something that's taught to you over years. And it starts with where you're born. If you're born in a single mother household, which most of us are, if you're born in a single mother household, that mom might have lived that same life and then imprint that life on you slowly over your whole life, and especially takes hold in your teenage years. So then you're starting the cycle all over again. And if you have girls and you haven't learned that is a waste of time, then you're going to place that same mentality on your girls, and they're going to do the same thing, and it's going to be a fucking vicious cycle, and it's going to continue over and over. So it starts in the house. But as I said at the beginning of this video, it's also a group thing. So when you reach a certain age, particularly high school, if you go to high school, and let's just say your mom wasn't like that and didn't subject you to that sort of mentality and that sort of behavior, how do you know the girls that you're going to go to high school with aren't that way? Your friend group. And of course, the peer pressure at that age with that teenage angst, it's going to be at peak. And you're going to want to fit in with them. So they influence you, and therefore that mentality takes hold to where you want to waste time and you want to go do these things. And if not that, if not at home, if not by peer pressure, it's by the entertainment industry. It's by the media. Especially if you predominantly indulge in black media, right? So they will tell you that you don't need no man, that you're independent, strong, independent woman, queen. They will tell you that you are the prize. They will coddle women. And there's the fucking cat again. What do you want? What do you want? He's back in his jail cell. Got no time for the animal. Got no time for him. I didn't put him in nature like I wanted to. Well, I didn't want to. He deserves it. He deserves spending his life in nature. It would be a short-lived life, but that's where he deserves to be. But as I was saying, the media. So if you don't get it from the house or the peer pressure, the media will get you, and they will trick you into wasting your time. Because you don't have the mentality to deal with a man that's not a fuckboy. Or you don't have the mentality to deal with a man at all. Because you're the prize. You're the strong, independent woman. You're the queen. You don't need shit. You don't need a man. You can do what you want. You can behave how you want. Your track record doesn't matter. If you're 240 pounds at 5'4", 2 kids, don't matter. You're the shit. You're the best. You're the best. Didn't you know that? You're the most desired, most desirable. Everyone wants to emulate you, black women, especially the ones that are 300 pounds with 4 kids. Everyone wants to emulate you. Didn't you know this? You sad fucks. This is misinformation. This is misinformation. And I just realized, excuse me a second, this is not water. This stuff that put hair on your chest. It's really foggy outside today. The fog just dropped from the sky. This is crazy. You can hear the cat. He's bitching. He gets food. I give him water. I give him food. His pan's down there. And there's this stigma about guys that have cats. It's like, what if I had a fucking snake, bitch? Then what? What am I? Am I evil? Am I a fucking devil? Am I a demon if I have a snake? It's like people think that dogs and cats are the only 2 animals. I have a fucking leopard gecko. What does that say about me? Am I even more of a pussy for having a leopard gecko? Or some sort of weird, strange person because I have a leopard gecko? I like my fucking leopard gecko. It lives in a sanctuary and it eats live insects. I love it. I feed it. I like to see it snatch live worms off the hook. That does sound sort of crazy. So I just realized not too long ago that, so I don't like R&B music. And I didn't know why I didn't like R&B music. I really didn't. Like, I like soul. I like Motown. I like jazz. I like funk. I like some 90s R&B music. Some of it. But it's like the mid to late 90s and onward. I can't get with that shit. I just can't get with it. And I didn't know why. It always made me feel so strange that everyone else loved R&B music. And I didn't understand, like, man, it made me feel I was alienated. It made me feel like a social outcast that I didn't like R&B music. And a lot of guys that I went to high school with and college with, we primarily listened to rap anyway. I listen to other genres as well, but especially the black guys, rap. We like rap. We like hip hop. But even those black guys could appreciate them some R&B music, mainly because they knew that women liked it and they wanted to fuck to it. That's something else that I don't agree with. I don't know how people could fuck to music. It's one giant distraction, but especially since I don't like it, it's like, yeah, what the fuck? It's like, can we just turn on Netflix or some shit? I can listen to Ozark in the background. I'd rather listen to them talking. That's less distracting than this shit. But anyway, I'm going to save that for another topic. But so even those guys, they liked R&B music, even if they were being disingenuous about it. But I never did. And I never wilted to the pressure from women asking me why I didn't like it. And I never understood why. Like, I love old school shit. I love it. And at first I thought it was because the old school shit was more, harmonious. It was more loving. It wasn't as expletive. It wasn't as vulgar. That's definitely a part of it. It was more wholesome, the older stuff. It gave the message of love, and it gave the message, and it subliminally, and I guess they used sort of metaphors for sex in a way without actually coming out and saying my dick is hard, my pussy's wet. And that's just a turnoff for me. So that's a part of it. But the primary thing that I just realized why I don't like R&B music is because I'm not the demographic. And I'm not saying I'm not the demographic because I don't understand why women like it, or why men like it for women, or why men like it in general. Even women R&B singers, men R&B singers across the board. I'm not the demographic because it mostly coddles women. For the most part, it coddles women, it shits on men, and it's apologetic crying men. So it makes men look weak and worthless while praising women. That is most R&B music. Please tell me where I am wrong here. I would love to hear it. Like I said, I will repeat this. Most R&B music degrades men, make men look weak, and make women deities. That's why I don't like it. I just realized this a few days ago. I was like, holy shit, that's why I don't like it. I'm not the demographic because I'm not a weak man, firstly. I didn't do shit to women to bow to them, secondly. And lastly, I don't think women are deities. I think they're people, just like I'm a person. No one should be put on a pedestal above anybody. We're all people. We're all trying to make it. So that's why they just fantasize it. Like, you are so great. You are the best. You are the prize. You are the one that everyone should want. Everyone should bow to your feet. Lick your toes, madame. That's why it's not for me. I'm practical. I'm analytical. I'm not someone who treats anyone better than anyone unless you're my family or unless you're a significant other. And to be a significant other, you have to understand that you don't deserve preferential treatment until we build a bond. I'm not going to show up and be like, hello, my queen. I'll be at your service. Whatever you need. Would you like me to lick thine asshole, my queen? No. I'm gonna show up. Gonna be cool. Gonna be funny. Hopefully you can have a conversation because Lord knows a lot of women out here cannot have conversations. As much as they say that men can't have conversations. Ooh, shit. Y'all can't talk worth shit. Y'all want to be praised. You want your ego's pet. That's what it is. You want a man to just praise and pet and praise and pet. That's what you want. But when someone's trying to have a normal conversation, get to know ya, one sentence response, you don't know what to say. And as me, I'm a conversationalist, so I have an endless supply of questions to ask. But it's like at some point, it's like endless supply of questions and statements and, conversation starters. I have an endless supply. But at some point, it's like, fuck, you're not giving me anything to respond to here. You're terrible at this. You're just bad at it. What the fuck? But anyway, I treat people how I would like to be treated. I don't want somebody to treat me like my shit don't stink because I know it stinks. I know it stinks. Sometimes I can't sit in there because it stinks so bad. I have fucking Febreze. I have the pods. I have the AirPods. My shit stinks. So does yours. So does yours. Everyone in my silent majority. All of you. All of our shit stink. The only thing that matters is to treat people with respect, kindness, and empathy. Treat everyone the way that you want to be treated. No one deserves special or preferential treatment. I don't even think royalty, celebrities, musicians, athletes, I don't even think they deserve special treatment. That's why I don't watch reality shows like that. I don't watch fucking TMZ. I don't watch any of it. It's so ridiculous. I don't watch award shows. It's all ridiculous to me. They're just people. They're people that get paid to do an overly priced job at entertainment. That's all that it is. But I'm going to be getting into that a little later as well. Do the things. Do all the things. All right. Love you. Bye.